Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Factorio. I'm unhooking these barreling machines because I want to make some changes up here to the way that this station works. I mean, it works, and it's fine, but I see some... there's some things I want to do up here. First thing I want to do is move this lubricant barrel a little bit more up here. Yeah. Something like that right there. And let's see, all that should empty out over time. Meaning the, yeah, that should be the last of our lubricant down there, so we shouldn't have to worry about any new barrels being created. And we can come up here and play with some things and get stuff going a little bit better. The thing I never really liked about this is it's kind of, there's like no control. I mean, we're limiting these inserters down here, but we're limiting them based on the amount of contents that we have in the chests, and not necessarily, there's a delay, right? Because there's items on the belt before they're counted in the chest, and it's just not very accurate. So I want to see if we can do something a little bit about that. And I wanted to kind of maybe optimize these chests a little bit, because I think we have more than we need. Let's just throw some stuff in here. Good. Get your circuits out, and we'll basically start from scratch. Okay. So we've got some green wires here. All of these chests are hooked up, but we lost our connection out to that network. So let's get that. And let's see, these chests are hooked up, yes, but this one no longer is. So we can hook this up to there, and that gives it to where our green wire here gives us a count of all of our items that we currently have out here. Fantastic. There we go. I don't think these need to be stack inserters, although they could be. It's not going to hurt anything. All right, so I want to set out these on red wires. And basically what I'm wanting to do is build a counter. So we're counting the items as we put them on the belt, and then subtracting them as we're taking off the belt, but then adding them again when they get put into this chest. So that should give us a count of what's in the chest plus what's on the belt. We'll just have to do a little bit of accounting for the inserter here, basically. And we can get these chests pretty close to full, I believe, if we do it that way. So you guys need to just read your hand contents. We're not going to enable disable you. You are just counting items that you are taking off the belt. And that's going to go to this red network, which is going to go along this line right here, along with our green. And I think that can end right here. And we're running a little bit low on the green wire. Just snatch up that wire there. All right. Yeah, that should make it build fast. Okay, so we need a counter here. That plus 0 output that times -1 output each. The red signal that is subtracting is going to come into you. You are going to go into there, and then we'll loop the input to the output. And what is going to be counted are you guys. And that is going to be on a separate green network that feeds into that. So you're subtracting, you're adding what we're putting on here. I don't know what that was about. I'm sure it was a good idea at the time. You're reading your hand contents. You're all adding what goes out on there. And you're doing the same. So that total is going into there. And then we need to add this green signal coming in with this green signal, but we don't want to send that through the counter. So I think we can do that with just an additional... We send that green signal there, and then hook a wire from the output here into that one. That gets the signal from this one. That gets the signal from that one. And those will add those two together. Each coming in plus 0 output each. Will that give us what we want? Oh, you know what would be better? Let's do deciders. Okay, and we'll want that red signal coming out. So that will keep that separate so it doesn't loop back in and get counted. Then we want this green signal right here coming in and connecting, and that will add as input to all these combinators. And then we can set up some logic here. Let's see. We've got that's 480 barrels spaces in a thing here. So let's say for lubricant, let's say if that is less than 480, output a signal L. And if a signal for W for water when water is less than that, and a signal P for petroleum when petroleum is less than that. We can adjust these numbers. That's going to be what, 960 because there are two. What did I? Oh, I must have changed the wrong one. Okay, you are W. You are water. And let's see, 1920. 1920. Is that right? I don't know. It's too late at night for me to play math. That'll get us close enough. So that's all the spots we have, and then we can send this out on a red signal going to these inserters. And you will be enabled when P is greater than 0. And you'll be enabled when P is greater than 0. And you will be W greater than 0, as will you. And you will be L greater than 0, as will you. All right. So it gets added out onto the belt. That gets added to this totaler right here. Then it gets so that gets added into the total. It's this plus this that gets added in as well. The only thing we need to account for is the fact that one, this isn't correct. And two, there is going to be a state where there's going to be like a split second of time when these barrels are going to be picked up by this inserter and they're not going to be counted. So that's going to be a bad deal. So we have to basically account for that. Now, worst case scenario, they're going to grab 2 barrels at a time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, and 4. So we can build that buffer into the count, I believe, so that our barrels don't overflow. So for you, that would be 78, 478. For you, that would be 956. And for you, that would be 12. Buffer of 8, buffer of 4, buffer of 2. And I think that might work. One way to try. We'll just hook this stuff back up, and we'll just see if that works. We should find out here relatively quickly. Let's see, water. I guess probably lubricant is going to go first. 478. At 478, it should shut off. Okay, and it went over at 479. Boy, that is slow as molasses, isn't it? Maybe we do need the bigger barrel here. But look at that. Full chest. Full chest, and no more lubricant on the way. Oh, there is lubricant on the way. Uh-oh. I did something wrong. There's a lot of extra lubricant on the way. I wonder if it's because... what's your stack size? 10? And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I switched it to a stack inserter. Okay, so that actually makes sense. So we need to switch that from a buffer of 2 to a buffer of 8. And that won't work because it's full, but it should work on the next time around. All right, and for the petroleum and the water, it looks like you guys are doing just fine. And I'm completely confident that that is going to work. I guess we'll find out. I also switched over the fuel stations to an SR latch. I basically made a high water mark of a full chest and a low water mark. I picked a number, 12. Sounded good to me. So that whenever the train comes, it'll completely fill up the box. And then when we get less than 12 in here, it'll call another train. And atomic bomb is finished. That is fun. Let's start researching something else. All right, now, are you going to work? It really doesn't look like it, does it? Off by 1 barrel. 1 barrel's hiding in there. All right, back to the drawing board. Speaking of things that work totally fine, this is just silly to me, and it needs to be changed as well. All right, let's take that reactor out. That doesn't need to be there, and let's put a couple of chests here. We're still going nuclear, but I don't like the haphazard. Yeah, this. Stop. Don't do that. The haphazard just placing of items in there never made a lot of sense to me. It's not something that I'm happy with, right? I think we can improve. Okay, so you are going to grab something off of the train here whenever the train comes, and you are actually... Stop. Oh, did that go off? Of course it did. Why wouldn't it? All right, let's wire this stuff up first here. We're going to basically read your hand contents. We are going to put an disable condition on you, but we're going to hold off on that for now. Your enabled condition is going to be the empty one, greater than 0. And I want to put a condition on you that's hooked up to this barrel, and I want you enabled when that is less, when that equals 0. So it'll only grab whenever there is nothing in there, and I only want you to grab 1. Okay. And I want you enabled. This is the one that triggers everything off. It'll pull out the empty barrel. And okay, so now we've got our one in the can here ready to go, but it's not going to go until we pull an empty barrel out. We want to pull an empty barrel out whenever a couple of conditions are met. So let's set up a combinator system. Let's just throw it in the middle here, I think. That'll work. I want to read this value from the tank here, and that's not attractive. Pick it up at a cross. All right, wires going through there. And whenever the steam count in there, that's a fluid, less than, I don't remember what I said. I'm saying 5,000. I want you to output a signal of it totally doesn't matter. A, when that occurs. So you are outputting because steam is low. Okay, but it should be filling back up, right? Yes. Okay, and I also want to read this signal. And when nuclear fuel is greater, I want you to output A as well. And then I want to take both of those signals and hook that up to that inserter. And I want you enabled when A equals 2. Or I guess A greater than 1 would work too. Okay, so what that's saying is whenever we need steam, whenever our steam is less than some amount, and whenever we have something in here, if we don't have anything in here, I don't want to pull that out because that's the condition to turn this guy on. So if there's nothing in there and we pull out that can, we're in kind of a deadlock situation. So we need to wait until we actually have this. So both of those conditions are true. A will be 2, and that inserter will be ready to go. Right now, A is 1. We're just waiting for our steam to die. Okay, and you... we are outputting that onto the network. Which is fine. But I don't want it based off of that steam. I want it based off of this. So, let's put another decider here. There's got to be a better way to do this. But for right now, we'll just make it work, and then we'll worry about optimization later. If that is equal to 0, meaning that we don't have anything in there, I want to do 2 things. I want to send that signal out to here, and I want this station to be enabled when that equals 0. So you should be off. Why aren't you off? Sending out that signal. What am I missing here? You're getting an input signal. Oh, but you're not sending it out. Okay, so, well, we don't have anything set up here. When that is greater than 0, send out that signal. You're enabled when that is greater than 0. There we go. That is off. And then we want to take that signal, and that's the one that we want to send back to there. So when we don't have any, send the request out that we need it. Otherwise, just turn the station off. And that's going to be a thing for our empty barreler. But I still don't quite recall what I was doing with that anyway. And I think we only technically need one of these. I guess we could take the other one out. I don't think it's hurting anything. It'll actually fill up this steam tank faster, I believe. But let's see. Can we go ahead and test this out? If we put another tank here and put a pump. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? That would, though. Since that's only hooked up into that tank, we should be able to suck that down here real quick. There we go. We got our nuclear fuel in there. That worked. So that guy's going to go ahead and burn through. You pulled out. Let's go ahead and put an inserter there to empty out that. And then this is going to be disabled until we get another thing. And we should have called a train, right? We should have a train on the way. Yeah, here it comes right here. And that is going to drop right here. And that'll get us good to go. I think we can go ahead and remove that. And now that signal is no longer tied into the steam here, the amount of steam that we have. It's actually tied into this basket right here. You went ahead and put yours in there. You went ahead and dropped yours off. Fantastic. All right, lab research speed done too. Boy, are we really doing braking force? Boy, we're close to being done. And I know I should be working on the rocket right now. It's just those little things right there, the way those circuits have worked, have always bothered me and wanted to get those fixed. All right, before we wrap things up here, let's head back, and I want to take a look and see what kind of disaster we have with our fluid setup. See if that ever worked itself out, or if it's still dropping barrels all over the place. All right, we've got some full petroleum barrels there, none on the line. We've got a full lubricant basket here, with none on the line, and water. Water's gonna take a while. Apparently, we've been using a lot of it. Okay, that water just finished up. Petroleum just finished up. All very good things. All right, now it's going to go ahead and empty out again. Good timing. Well, that seems like it's going to work out a lot better, and I feel like it's a lot better controlled. We are missing one barrel here to make this completely full, but you know, I'm not gonna complain too much about that. Well, thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. I will see you in the next episode, where I'm not even going to try to speculate into what we're going to be doing, because I do not know. I want to say rocket parts, but you know, it's just when we build the rocket, it seems so kind of final and done, and I want to move on to other things, and I'm kind of liking this factory a little bit. Well, thank you for watching. See you next time.